everybody? It's Benny One, and I'm back at you with another review for the Mighty Ducks Game Changers, everybody. We got episode 5. We're at the halfway point of this show already. That's craziness, everybody. Woo! Alright, this was a pretty damn good episode because Evan's dad shows up, and he's a rocker. He's a band guy. That is pretty much not a good dad, everybody. He's not a good father. He shows up at their practice, and you could tell that things are awkward because of Alex is not a big fan of his, and Gordon can kind of tell all that. So he was like, can Evan come and check out me playing at a bar tonight? And she was kind of like, nah, I don't really know. And Gordon's like, you know what? I could take him. I could take him there. We could go. So they end up they end up going to this bar where his dad is performing. And there's a pretty funny sequence where Evan's dad and Gordon end up having a freaking goddamn chicken wing eating competition. And I'm pretty sure they both got up to about 42 or 43 chicken wings. It's pretty damn funny, I will say that. And you know what? One thing I did notice, and I told my wife this, is you can tell this is a Disney show because Evan's dad was drinking a beer. Gordon was drinking water. And I get it. Evan's dad is the freaking rocker loser that's not a good dad. So how stereotypical of them. He's the one drinking a beer. And then Gordon, is the hockey coach, the athlete, the star of the show, and he's drinking water. Like, it's pretty stereotypical of them to do that, I guess. Like, what would have been wrong if Gordon would have been having a beer? Like, come on, people. I don't know. I found that kind of silly and so Disney of them to do. But it was a funny sequence. It was a pretty funny sequence, though, because then Alex shows up to pick Evan up because it's late. And she's like, why are you still at that bar? Like, I told you needed to come home a long time ago. So, so Bombay ends up taking Evan outside. We don't get to see any of this, but he comes back and he's like, thanks, bro. She's like, she was pissed. And she freaking gave it to me hardcore, man. So it was pretty cool. And then, so I've noticed with these episodes is they tend to focus on a couple of the kids instead of all of them. Because I've noticed the past few episodes, like last episode we focused on Evan and Mike and Coob a lot. Where in this episode, we focus on Lauren and Maya, and then mainly Evan and his dad and their relationship. So Lauren and Maya are getting closer when they're at hockey practice and shit, and Lauren actually tells Maya about what her cape is, and she had, I can't remember what she said, but she had a brace or something on her back, and her dad got her that cape to cover her back so people wouldn't tease her, and that's the whole story behind that. And then they end up doing this cool little TikTok dance where Maya wears the cape. And then the next day at school, they're sitting with their actual friends. They're not sitting together. And Nick is going through TikTok and he shows a video of Maya and someone else. And she's like, well, where's our TikTok? And it's not on there because Maya didn't post it because she didn't want her friends to know and stuff. So they get into it right there in the lunchroom about how, they're only friends at hockey practice and stuff. And then and then Maya tries to go apologize to Lauren later in the day. And she does the same thing in front of her friends. So they're both embarrassed basically to be friends with each other in front of their groups of friends, which is pretty much normal shit for middle school age kids. Because middle school is a very awkward time when you're in school. It's a very awkward time. That's for damn sure. So, and they do eventually get over it because a hockey game happens and Nick basically tells them that they're amazing on the ice together and they're great friends and they basically need to just stop with the nonsense. Like, stop. And speaking of the hockey game, Gordon is when he decides, because Evan's dad is like, oh man, I got this show to go to, and if we can make it here and kill it, we can make it big. I have to go. And he's like, well, you promised Evan you were going to be at his hockey game. And he's like, yeah, I can't. He's like, what are you going to tell him? He's like, man, I got to go if I don't go right now. and you could tell that Gordon was disappointed in him. So Gordon's like, you know what? I'll drive you to the airport. I'll drive you to the airport. And of course, they drive by the airport sign, and he's like, yeah, bro, the airport was right there. What are you doing? And he's like, it's okay. And he tells him about his dad and how his dad passed away and everything, and how he loved having him in the stands watching him play hockey, wished he was still there. He freaking forces this guy to go to Evan's hockey game, like forced him to go to Evan's hockey game. And he actually ends up enjoying himself because the hockey game, they were losing, and they're playing one of the they're not so good teams in the league, and they were losing. I think it was 3 or 4-0. But once Evan's dad shows up, he freaking goes into beast mode, everybody. Evan turns on beast mode, and holy Christ, he's freaking blowing people off him, running into him, checking him like nobody can stop him. He's scoring goals left and right, and that's right, everybody. The Don't Bothers win their first freaking hockey game. It was awesome. Awesome shit. Like, they won their first hockey game. Great stuff, everybody. This was a pretty damn good episode. I think this one was better than the past 2 episodes. This is a good show. It really is. It's got a Disney Channel-ish feel to it with the Mighty Ducks. It really does. But overall, I'm enjoying it so far, so I hope you guys are enjoying it too, because I know I'm enjoying it, because I'm sure we'll get more seasons of it if it's pretty successful. So, all right, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed that spoiler-filled review for the Mighty Ducks Game Changers Episode 5, and I'll be catching you on tube laters, because I have spoken.